employers, are you aware of your rights and responsibilities with regard to the labor standards? Do you know how many stat holidays you pay your employees? Do you provide paid sick days? What about bereavement leave, family leave? Recently, I met with 2 new clients, and in the first 5 minutes of talking with them, I was able to identify a couple of areas where each of them were overspending, and we were able to save them almost $5,000 combined, just by explaining the Labor Standards Act. Hi, I'm Carla May, owner of Cornerstone HR. I provide human resources consulting and training to entrepreneurs just like you. Contact me today at 709-639-0871. I will craft solutions to your HR pains so you can get back to your customers and your clients and do what you do best.
Thank you, Carla. Judges?
Carla. What do you feel is the biggest mistake that small and medium-sized enterprises make with regard to their employee benefits?
I think the most important thing is for employers to be aware of what they can provide, what they're required to provide through labor standards. When I suggest that they were overspending, that means that I wanted them to take the money away from their employees, and I don't really mean that. But as we went through a lot of the sessions today, we heard that a lot of you have less than 10 employees, and some of you are new, and probably can't afford to be paying out a lot of extra benefits. So I think the key is to know what you were required by labor standards and to know what you can afford to pay.
Okay, thank you. What's your top tip for retaining employees?
Oh, definitely. We had that conversation earlier today as well about getting to know your employees. Find out what it is that they enjoy about their job, what they need, what they want to get out of their job, and being able to meet those needs. And it doesn't have to be financial. A lot of employees would like to have Friday afternoons off. And so maybe you can work out an option for them that they come in earlier every day during the week so they can have their Friday afternoons off. That sort of thing. It's getting to know them, finding out what their keys are.
That was just my question. I was going to wonder, what are your alternatives for retaining employees, other than salary for small businesses? So maybe I'll look at another question. So what would be your best tip for recruiting those top employees, people you see out there? How are people today recruiting employees?
I would suggest that you look to be what you can do to be an employer of choice. And so one of these recent clients that I work with, and I identified some areas where we can save some money, she said, I don't want to. Now, she's not paying herself. She's broke. But her employees are really happy. She provides them extra time off. She provides them the sick days. She provides paid bereavement leave. She knows that as employees, they work really hard, and she wants to provide that extra little bit of support for them. And so she's able to go that little extra mile for them.
And I also have another question I just thought of. Women were all caregivers, and I think a lot of us may be in the middle with small children and aging parents. Are companies taking on elder care and recognizing that as something that we have to do? And how are we selling that? How are people doing that?
I think that employers wanting to be employers of choice, being able and to be an employer of choice, then you can recruit your top talent and retain your top talent. And if you have that flexibility to provide that, if your employees need to take that extra time to bring an elderly parent or a child to the dentist or to the doctor or for extra appointments, then you're flexible enough to do that. Now, that's not always possible in a lot of businesses, and so you have to juggle with what your business is day to day. But if you can provide that, then by all means, I would highly recommend that all employers I work with to do that.
Because it's probably not part of the Labor Standard Act and what the number of days you need to